Good morning, everybody. Today's April 1st. So we're going to be discussing English language proficiency. So what are your thoughts? Should there be stricter adherence to English language proficiency for our nation's CDL drivers? And what about other drivers, such as gig drivers like Amazon Flex or Uber drivers? Now, under FMCSA rules, specifically Federal Regulation 49 CFR subsection 391.11, Section B, subsection 2, all CDL holders operating in interstate commerce must read and speak English sufficiently to be able to converse with the general public, law enforcement, inspectors, dispatchers, or others. Also understand highway traffic signs and signals in English, as well as respond to official inquiries, such as during roadside inspections, explaining hours of service, trip details, cargo, or vehicle condition, and be able to make entries on reports and records, such as logs and inspection reports. This rule has existed for decades, since the 1930s in some form, but enforcement was relaxed around 2016, allowing interpreters, apps, or cards. Barack Obama, then President of the United States in 2016, overseeing the federal administration when the Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration, the FMCSA, issued Memorandum MC-ECE-2016-006 on June 15, 2016. So the memorandum, titled English Language Proficiency Testing and Enforcement Policy, the aforementioned memorandum number, this document provided guidance to FMCSA personnel conducting safety investigations and inspections. Purpose: well, the memo officially instructed personnel on how to handle English language proficiency, ELP violations, under 49 CFR subsection 391.11, section B, subsection 2, during roadside inspections, clarifying that they were no longer considered out-of-service violations, a change that took effect in 2015. Starting in 2025, the U.S. Department of Transportation under Secretary Sean Duffy and FMCSA strengthened enforcement via executive order and new guidance. Now, as of June 25, 2025, drivers failing an English language proficiency assessment during a roadside inspection can be placed out of service immediately. Now, there's no formal standardized test required for the CDL itself, though some states now administer CDL knowledge tests only in English, which I feel should be the standard for every state. What do you think? Proficiency is assessed periodically, such as during CDL application and training, at hiring and orientation by carriers, most critically during roadside inspections by officers and inspectors, and is a two-part process, including the speaking and interview part. Answer basic questions in English about aids, such as show me your license and insurance, where are you coming, going, what hours have you been driving. Reading, identify and explain common road signs, such as at least 3 out of 4 traffic signs correctly. Failing this can lead to OOS orders, potential disqualification, higher insurance costs for carriers, and safety violations. Carriers must ensure drivers meet this standard to avoid liability. So why it matters: a safety focus. Misreading signs or failing to communicate in emergencies can cause accidents. Drivers interact with way stations, border patrol, agricultural checkpoints, police, and other road users. English is the primary language for U.S. road signs, regulations, and emergency response. There are no precise numbers in regards to deaths attributed to English language barriers because that was not a dedicated field in reporting, so that data was not captured. Some of the documented high-profile cases since 2016 are as follows, and please forgive me, I'm trying to pronunciate some of these names correctly, I may be off. In 2017, Connor Zion was killed while waiting in standstill traffic. He was rear-ended by Yadwinder Sangha, who was on his 25th hour driving, allegedly ignored critical warning signs, and could not read English and did not brake until about 1 second before the impact. In 2019, Rogel Aguilera Medeiros killed 4 people. Now, post-crash, Aguilera Medeiros, who's Cuban-born, spoke limited English and required a translator when speaking with police and during court proceedings. His employer had prior federal violations that included English proficiency issues. In 2022, Taylor Harris, an EMT, was killed, and his fellow EMT, Tiffany Grutzmacher, was seriously injured when driver Saviol St. Jean, born in Haiti, drove through an accident scene. Reports noted that St. Jean had limited English proficiency. Court proceedings required interpretation, and there were mentions during the trial and related commentary that he may not have fully understood or responded appropriately to the emergency scene signage, lights, or warnings. In 2025, Harjinder Singh made an illegal U-turn, killing 3 people. Post-crash testing showed the driver answered only 2 out of 12 English questions correctly and identified just 1 out of 4 road signs. This case was heavily cited by US DOT as justification for stricter enforcement. Now, some other 2025 cases. US DOT referenced at least 5 fatal crashes involving non-domiciled, often foreign, CDL holders in the first half of 2025, with language issues noted in some, including the Florida and West Virginia case where the driver needed an interpreter. At least 2 drivers were said to lack basic proficiency. Exact total deaths across these 5 not uniformly reported, but examples include multi-fatality incidents. Recent analysis of 2025 FMCSA data show that carriers with English language proficiency violations have crash rates nearly double the national average. This is unacceptable and must change. The current administration is working hard to make these common sense changes. If you agree that stricter enforcement of English language proficiency needs to be enforced in our transportation industry, please reach out to your local and federal representatives to voice your opinion. Together, your voice can make a change and help save lives. Now, if you like this video, please smash that like button, leave a comment, and give me a follow. Help feed that algorithm. Have a blessed day.